President confirm that.
Well, good evening to all of you. Thank you very much for having me over here. And thank you with due respects to Rotary Satish, Rotary Venkat, Rotary Mandala Manu, and Rotary Shiva. Hopefully I remembered all the names.
Very good. Super.
But it's been an amazing set of messages from Hari and from our president of our club, Barry Burnham. Wanted to kind of talk, before I kind of talk, let me take 30 seconds about talking to, giving you some information about this person whose name is Barry Burnham. Apparently from what I heard from yesterday, he also probably is joined this Rotary Club a couple of years ago, 2018. So, and when compared to him, I'm a total rookie. I have no clue what a Rotary Club is or how it is and all that, but it is always phenomenal to see positive-minded people with a lot of smiles. Goes a long way. And my connection to Rotary Club or Rotary in nature happened in 86 probably, where I found and I was working at that time with TVS Suzuki. At that time it was called Suzuki Motorcycles. I was working there as an engineer, graduate trainee, and I saw this little advertisement about half an inch by half an inch space from Rotary International Foundation for asking people to apply for scholarships. And then back then, if you remember, I of course I can date myself. It was 84, many years ago. But back then you can understand transportation was bad, communication was bad, none of us had cell phones. And so I get a letter in the mail asking for an interview at Chennai on a Tuesday or a Wednesday, and obviously had to send a letter to them. By the time I get a letter, by the time they get a letter, I said I can't come and attend an interview on a Tuesday. And they were nice enough to say, yeah, come on a Saturday. And then I told my father said, so I said, that's okay, just let me apply. So I go to the interview on a Saturday. They asked me some questions. I don't even remember what questions they asked. 3-4 weeks later, I get an interview call to Hyderabad. And then I go to Hyderabad. Same thing happened. They called me for an interview on a Tuesday or a Wednesday, and then I write them, send them a letter, and I go back on an interview on a Saturday. And I attended the interview. I have no idea what they asked. I don't know what I answered. And I get another final interview to New Delhi. And all these things were expensive trips for me. But I go to Delhi again on a same thing happened Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursday, and then I go back on a Saturday. And then I get a big fat email, like an envelope, saying that you got selected for a Rotary scholarship.
Oh, very good.
And, but the funny thing is, we were so ill-equipped in applying for universities. I have this scholarship sitting on my desk with no admission to any university. And I came to find out after reading all these envelopes saying that I've got to apply and get admission from a Commonwealth country. So either Australia, England or Canada, not US. So you have to seek admission, and then they select which university to go to. So I started applying for universities then. Because I was keen to apply, but had no clue. How many of you probably understand what I'm talking about? I'm sure some of my batchmates probably may understand too. We all want to go, but we don't know where to go or what to do. But then anyway, long story short, I go and do my master's in Canada with a 1-year scholarship, all expense paid, tuition fees paid, and transportation, winter kit allowance, book allowance. And then plus I had a scholarship in my department there. So that was my, I think, first connection with Rotary, where I was being invited to different Rotary clubs to talk about. I was an ambassador and things like that. So that was my first connection. Of course, after that the connection severed because then you finish my master's. It took another 1 more year to finish my master's. Then did my PhD, and then one day things happened. But I was connected to Rotary Foundation. So somehow, somewhere, all of you were connected to it properly. Canton. So it's a thin line how I came back at 360 degrees because of Hari Prakash wanting me to be a bridge between Uday and a club board, a connection in This is how this message was. And then I went and checked around. But I like to meet people, so I connected with a lot of people, and then somehow I got connected to this Rotary Club and things like that. But what I wanted to tell was this Rotary Club president, Barry Burnham, I'm sure some of you probably will get a chance to see him. He's one heck of an excited guy. His profession is he's a funeral director of multiple funeral homes. And so I was making jokes of him and say, how do you stay excited when you're going to be selling these packages for people to buy burial sites? And so, but he's an excited guy, and I have been in one of his campaign where they invite and entice people with fabulous dinner tables and all that. So they get about $50-$60 worth of dinner for them to buy about $1,500 worth of burial sites. So it's America, right? Everything is money and things like that. So unbelievable guy, but he's an excited guy. He wants to do something. But when he got connected to Hari Prakash and when he got connected to your club, his excitement is like 100-fold.
Oh,
he said, I've learned so many things. And because of the differently abled event that you had hosted, which you invited me, Barry, his excitement just went up another 100-fold. So hopefully with God's grace, this handshake will blossom and things like. So with this, I know all of you talked about lyrics, scriptures and stuff like that. I love reading Vedic chanting and things like that. So I found this thing which is very apt for Rotarians and Rotary clubs. And this is one line from Atharvana Veda, chapter 3, 24th section, 5th stanza. It says, Shatahasta Samahara Sahasrahasta Sankira. It means we might need 100 hands to make money. It's diversification and all that is very common these days. Shatahasta, 100 hands to earn money. Sahasrahasta to donate. To donate your money, we need thousands of hands to donate money and make good work. And I think that's very apt for Rotary clubs, where one person cannot be doing all this work.
Correct.
You need thousands and thousands of hands. And I thought this is very apt in our Vedas, which is, I thought it was very apt for this occasion and for this event and stuff like that. And so, I'm very excited to be inducted. Of course, I'm very connected to a lot of these things. Of course, I indirectly help. And when I say free of charge for mentoring and stuff like that, nobody would pay anyway if I say, unless there are some very good executive coaches like Hari Prakash, nobody would pay me for help. So it might as well go free so that I can probably, if somebody doesn't get the right help, I can at least say that it is free of charge. But humor aside, it's always a good feeling to not just help and support, but when people come back and say, hey, I need help, that is when you feel happy. Because it's a two-handed, a handshake is made up of two hands. We can always stretch our hands for a handshake, but if the other person is not ready, that is not defined as a handshake. And so I think the type of work that you guys do is literally a handshake, where you are working with communities day in and day out on projects that make sense. Each club has got their own strengths, I think. I'm also not sure yet what our club is doing. So I kind of know what they are doing, but I have not yet gotten engaged into anything yet. My strengths, of course, are health and fitness and stuff like that. And with a few passing comments, I know I have about 7 minutes, and I'm probably close to 7 minutes. One of the things that have happened in the pandemic is because of my interest in sports and stuff like that, because I was representing Anna University and Mother University and for hockey and stuff like that. In the last 2.5 years, I took it very seriously, and I'm now representing US Senior Olympics, which is above 50 plus. for 800 meters and 1500 meters because I ran the 800 under 3 minutes. Ran the 1500 meters under 6 minutes. And you have to qualify in each state first. So I qualified in Michigan, and then now I'm going to run for the US Senior Olympics, which I'm not sure whether I'll be running because it's in May 21st and 22nd. And because of my father, I kind of, my serious training has come down quite a bit. But the reason why I'm saying that is somebody like Swami Vivekananda is my hero. And unless I am really strong, both mentally and physically, there is once in a while when somebody goes down, can I be the rock? When somebody goes up, can I still be the rock? And my sole thinking and feeling in life is, first of all, I need to be a rock in my family. In my own small family, I need to be a rock so that at least they can take my support. And then when I can do that, then outside in the larger community, people can come to me and say, hey, this guy is a rock. I can always believe him, I can always trust him, and I can always get his support and things like that. So with those few words, I'll close my small talk and then back to Honorable Secretary.
Secretary title கொடுத்தாச்சு இப்போ.
I'm the secretary elect. I'm going to be the secretary for next year.
மத்த எல்லா இன்ஃபர்மேஷனும் கேதர் பண்ணிருக்காரு. அதையே அப்ரிஷியேட் பண்ணணும் இல்ல.
Thank you, Dr. Vish, for that very nice quote. The nice quote from Vedas. I'm sure both the clubs will now join hands and we will do service projects in future, both in India and in the US, and reach out to people. Thank you so much. Thanks for your time. I would now like to request our Rotary Senior Venkateshwaran sir to